Hello everyone, I'm Sheriff Wayne Ivey of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and welcome to BCSO Fugitive Hunt. Now, as everyone knows, the job of our fugitive unit, or wolves at the door as we call them, is to safely take those off our streets who have active warrants for their arrest and who are trying to avoid justice by hiding and eluding law enforcement. Our job is to find them, arrest them, and put them behind bars where they can't victimize anyone else, and it's a job that at times can be dangerous, action-packed, and actually sometimes even boring, as you sit on surveillance for hours waiting to confirm that the fugitive is inside. In the end, though, it's a very rewarding part of law enforcement, as you get to put fugitives in jail and do your part to help keep our community safe. So let's go to work, as our first case of the day was locating Vincent Paul Modine, who was wanted on 2 outstanding warrants: a felony warrant for violation of probation for possession of methamphetamine, and a second misdemeanor warrant for failure to appear in reference to DUI. In an effort to locate Modine, our fugitive agents had developed information that he was hiding at a homeless camp in the Melbourne area, as he had exhausted all other places to try and hide. As you can see from the video, Modine was taken into custody by our team without incident and was also found to be in possession of a small amount of heroin. Modine was transported to the Brevard County Jail on a no-bond status for the 2 warrants and also additional charges of possession of a controlled substance and an on-site violation of probation. Okay, our next arrest was Patrick Andrew Athan A.C. Adis, who had 2 active felony warrants for violation of probation, reference felony petty theft with 2 or more prior theft convictions, and also felony violation of probation, reference possession of heroin and possession of meth. Intel collected by our agents led us to an address on Marywood Road in the Melbourne area where Athan A.C. Adis was supposed to be hiding in a tent at the back of the residence. The original plan was to try and catch the subject leaving the property, but as agents were setting up, surveillance showed us that there was a domestic taking place at the rear of the property, so we had to move.
Give me a kiss.
You ain't calling the shots, bro. Come
Can
this
she
way.
give me a kiss?
Yes, just chill out. Calm down.
Well, tell us your real name, bud.
Oh, what did I do?
Athan A.C. Adis was taken into custody before the domestic could elevate on the active warrants and was subsequently transported by one of our patrol units to the Brevard County Jail, where he was held on a no-bond status. Now, our next case involved Michael Hernandez, who agents approached at his home in the Cocoa area. While Hernandez didn't immediately want to come outside the residence, our agents were able to convince him to cooperate, and eventually he came outside. Hernandez had an active felony warrant referenced 2 sex offender violations, with the first being failure to report a vehicle to DHSMV, and the second being failure to register changes to employment. Both warrants were for technical violations that caused a circuit court to issue an active warrant for his arrest. As you can see from the video, Hernandez was very cooperative and was taken into custody by our agents. Hernandez was subsequently taken to the Brevard County Jail on a no-bond status per the instructions of the felony warrants. Following Hernandez's arrest, our team regrouped to discuss our next target, and that's when we sadly discovered that a member of our very own team had decided to take a nap while the rest of us were out working to keep our community safe. While I'm pretty sure it was the pulled pork sandwich from Sonny's during our lunch break that did him in, it's still no excuse, and as such, I've conducted a formal counseling with him, and future similar acts will result in a written reprimand. As the wolves continue their efforts to remove criminals from our streets, their next arrest was Clemens Paul Niehoff, who was taken into custody in the Melbourne area. Niehoff had an active felony warrant for his arrest for 2 counts of conspiracy to introduce contraband into a county detention facility, and also 1 count of use of a 2-way communication device during the commission of a felony. Niehoff was transported to the Brevard County Jail on a $20,000 bond, and he can rest assured that no one will be smuggling contraband into our facility for him to take advantage of. Christopher Ray Stanley was the next lucky recipient of a free ride to the Brevard County Jail after he was arrested in the Cape Canaveral area for an active felony warrant referenced aggravated stalking. Stanley was taken into custody without incident and was transported to our beautiful detention facility on a $50,000 bond. All right, folks, our last arrest for this episode of BCSO Fugitive Hunt is Billy Shook, who was arrested in the Mims area for an active felony warrant reference violation of probation for robbery with a deadly weapon. Now, my main man Shook apparently never got the memo that if you run from the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, you're only going to go to jail tired, as when he spotted our fugitive agents, he took off running and tried to hide under a nearby residence. Really, Billy? You run and then try to hide underneath the house? Yeah, because you know what? We'd never think to look under there. Come on, man. If you're going to run, at least give the dog a chance to chase you down and get in some bite work. Actually, you know what, Billy? What's probably better is to remember that you're in Brevard County, and if you break the law, you're going to jail. Here's a good piece of advice for you. In future engagements, don't break the law in Brevard County. And if you do, just man up and take your medicine instead of running like a scaredy cat. Shook was transported to Brevard County Jail on a no bond status, and also we gave him some additional charges of resisting arrest without violence and an on-site violation of probation charge as well. Well, there you have it. Another great time hunting fugitives down and a great fugitive unit working hard to keep our community safe. You know, they say that crime will rise to the level a community will tolerate, and in Brevard County, we have zero tolerance for crime. Thank you for your amazing support of our agency, and we'll see you next time on BCSO Fugitive Hunt.